American Secret Service agent Rex Bennett is assigned to defeat the plans of the Germans to form an alliance in Africa with the Arabs. His aides are Janet Blake, a United Nations agent posing as a reporter, and Pierre LaSalle, a Free French officer. Complications arise when a trusted Arab chieftain turns out to be Baron von Rommler, a German officer. I'm Catherine Stewart, and this is Cliffhanger Friday here at Atomic Age Pictures. Here we post a classic movie serial every first and second Friday of the month. Manhunt in the African Jungle was a sequel to G-Men vs. the Black Dragon, released earlier in 1943, again starring Rod Cameron as American secret agent Rex Bennett. G-Men was such a big hit that this serial, already in production, was quickly retooled to be a de facto sequel. The production budget was $174,536, but the negative cost rose to $210,033. Not only did this make the serial the most expensive of 1943, it was also the third most expensive and third most over budget of all the 66 serials Republic produced. At 45 days, the serial's production ties for the title of the second longest shoot of all Republic serials. The other was Jungle Girl. The longest shoot was Drums of Fu Manchu at 47 days. Star Rod Cameron was a Canadian film and television actor whose career extended from the 1930s to the 1970s. He appeared in horror, war, action, and science fiction movies, but is best remembered for his many westerns. Cameron started out as a stuntman, later becoming a bit player for Paramount Pictures, as well as a stand-in for Fred MacMurray. In 1943, Cameron gained star status in action serials for Republic Pictures as crime-busting federal agent Rex Bennett. When cowboy star Johnny Mac Brown left Universal Pictures for Monogram Pictures, Cameron replaced him as Universal's Western series star. Universal soon gave him roles in feature films, including Salome, Where She Danced, and River Lady. In 1949, Cameron appeared with Bonita Granville in the comedy film Strike It Rich. He then appeared in many westerns and other films for Republic Pictures, including Santa Fe Passage and, later, The Gun Hawk. Cameron traveled to Europe in 1964 to play the lead in spaghetti westerns, such as Bullets Don't Argue in 1964 and Bullet in the Flesh in 1965. He later appeared in such films as The Last Movie and Evel Knievel in 1971 and Psychic Killer in 1975. Some of you may notice that there seem to be no jungles in Manhunt in the African Jungle. Well, that's mostly because the original title of this serial was Secret Service in Darkest Africa. When the film was re-released in 1954, the title was changed. Clearly, the publicity executive who ordered the change had never actually seen the film. Before we get started, please like and subscribe and check out our second channel, Atomic Age Originals, where we post our own original films. And now, buckle up for Manhunt in the African Jungle.
Hello, Armand.
How do you do, Miss Blake? Pardon me.
Has Sultan Abou Ben Ali arrived yet?
Not yet, Miss Blake, but he should be here any minute. The trouble leaders are waiting for him in a suite reserved by his secretary, Mr. Muller.
What's my chance of interviewing the secretary?
We can ask.
Welcome, Your Highness.
Who is this young lady, Ernst?
Miss Blake, a journalist. She wishes to interview you.
Your Highness, I merely wanted to ask one question. Will the North African leaders support the United Nations of the Axis?
My dear Miss Blake, no one knows what their decisions will be.
They'll follow your leadership, won't they?
They will follow the precepts of the Prophet. You must excuse me now. A full statement will be issued later.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Oh, Miss Blake, Captain LaSalle telephone.
Oh, thanks a lot, Armand. Get me the French diplomatic headquarters.
Hello? Janet? I just received a message from Rex Bennett.
Rex Bennett? But he was killed in Stalingrad.
Obviously, the report was false. He's in Berlin, and he has learned that German agents are plotting to assassinate the Sultan because he favors the United Nations. Can you get to the Sultan and warn him?
Oh, I'm sure I can. Did Rex give you any details of the German plans?
No, only what I've told you.
All right, I'll call you later.
Here are the complete files on the North African situation, Your Highness.
I must see the Sultan again.
No one may see His Highness now.
It's a matter of life or death.
Let the young lady enter, please.
Your Highness, I've just been informed by an American secret agent in Berlin that German assassins are planning an attempt on your life.
Ridiculous.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. At any rate, I thank you for your warning. Can you tell me any more about the plot?
No, but I may receive further details later.
Please, keep me informed. And now you must excuse me, my conference is waiting.
Certainly.
Do you believe her story?
I don't know. Still, we must see that proper precautions are taken.
All is ready, Baron von Rommler.
I know, Miller. And thanks to our concealed microphones, we heard everything the girl said. We'll attend to that later. Come. Keep him downstairs. We may have to force some information out of him later.
Remove his turban and burnous. of authority. Your Gracious Highness.
Now we shall execute our master plan. Announce me to the sheiks. Then the radio Berlin and tell them what the girls said about the American spy there. Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler. By the grace of Allah, His Highness the Sultan Abou Ben Ali.
Be seated, my friends.
Luger, send a message in code to Kurt Hauptmann, Gestapo Headquarters, Berlin.
It's very important that I have just the right agent for this mission.
You couldn't pick a better man, Herr Hauptmann. Look at his excellent record. He's responsible for the death of Rex Bennett.
So, it was he who killed the famous American agent. Splendid. Send him in.
This is Agent G27.
I'm sending you to Africa to take the first step in undermining the United Nations position there.
Yes, Herr Hauptmann.
We have perfected a master plan. You've heard of the Dagger of Solomon?
Yes, it's an ancient symbol revered by all Muslims. It disappeared a generation ago.
That dagger is in our hands. In its hilt is the key to the tomb of Kubla al-Baida, the ancient Muslim leader. The Arabs believe that when the dagger is found and the tomb is opened, they will find a message which will guide their course in war and peace. To make certain that they will find a suitable message, our experts have prepared a scroll written in ancient Arabic on antique parchment. It advises all Muslims to follow the sign of the swastika. You will take the dagger and scroll to our Casablanca agent. He will open the tomb secretly and insert the scroll. Then he will turn the dagger and key over to the Arabs. Proceed now to the National Archives, where Colonel von Raeder will hand you scroll, dagger, and final instructions.
Yes, Herr Hauptmann.
Von Rommler's report just come in from Casablanca. It's being decoded now.
Good.
Here's the dagger of Solomon and the scroll of Kubla al-Baida.
Swear that scroll is as ancient as the dagger.
Well, the dagger is a beautiful specimen of Arabian art. The scroll is a perfect example of German ingenuity. The captured American plane is waiting for you at Goering Airfield. You can fly it into Casablanca without being challenged. You will deliver this to... Just a minute. Von Raeder speaking.
Von Rommler just reported from Casablanca that an American agent is among us. We have checked the credentials of the man who is with you. They are forged. We have reason to suspect he is Rex Bennett. Arrest him!
Yes, sir. Don't move. Our plans have changed, Mr. Rex Bennett. Put it down. Get out.
American plane ready for my takeoff?
Yes, Captain. I've kept it warmed up.
A reward for your efficiency. To victory.
Victory!
Tell us, Rex, what have you been up to? And how in the world did you get into Berlin?
That's a long story. Let's get down to business first. Did you get my messages about the Sultan?
Yes, but so far nothing has happened. The Sultan is here in Casablanca conferring with the tribal leaders.
Good. Can you bring them together for a meeting with me?
It could be arranged through the diplomatic corps, if it's really important.
It's important, all right. I'm going to expose the biggest hoax that Berlin has ever tried to put over.
Very well. I shall arrange a meeting at the Hotel International in the morning.
Mr. Bennett, are you prepared to offer any tangible proof of this so-called German plot to deceive my people?
Yes, Your Highness. I have in my possession the dagger of Solomon and the forged scroll.
You have them with you?
No, I wasn't sure it would be wise to show them publicly.
I have no secrets from my sheiks.
In that case, I can have them brought here immediately. Can I use your phone?
Certainly.
Connect me with room 104, please.
Room 104. Go there at once.
Hello, Janet. This is Rex calling from the Sultan's suite. Pierre will be there in a few minutes. Give him the dagger and scroll.
Your Highness, if you'll excuse me.
Just a minute, Pierre.
Get in there and don't make a sound.
Pierre! 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 He took the scroll and the dagger.
Tell Rex I'll contact him at my office.
You should have seen the look on the Sultan's face when I told him the dagger and scroll had been stolen.
He probably thought you never had them at all.
Well, that's just it. He seems to think the whole thing was a scheme to discredit Germany, and unless... Yes? Well, yes, Pierre. Fine, we'll be right over. Pierre trailed the thief to the Tropical Fruit Company warehouse in the riverfront. We've got to get there and help him. Pierre's.
Something must have gone wrong.
Stay here. If anyone tries to get away, stop them.
Maybe this will bring you to.
Hold it. Janet. What happened to the other one?
He escaped in a motorboat.
The scroll and the dagger. He gave them to the captain on the riverboat. It left just before he got here. Headed for Sedala.
If I take the shore road, I may be able to stop it.
Be careful. The boat is loaded with munitions and explosives for Nazi agents.
All the more reason for stopping it. Take care of him, Janet.
Current's stronger than I calculated. We must have more steam. Watch your course carefully. If we should hit a reef with all those explosives aboard, we'd blow up.
Dagger and scroll. Order your pilot to head back for Casablanca. that dagger and scroll. I'll order your pilot to head back for Casablanca.
But the Sultan is in conference with the sheiks and cannot be disturbed.
I think he'll see me if you tell him that I've recovered the dagger and the fraudulent German scroll.
I will inform His Highness. Your Highness.
Yes, Müller, what is it?
Rex Bennett is here. He has recovered the dagger and scroll.
Send him in, please.
Tune in the conference room.
And I recovered the dagger and scroll from the riverboat captain who was taking them to Sadala.
You have them with you?
Yes, Your Highness. Here they are.
The dagger is genuine. There can be no question of it. Did you read the scroll?
Yes. The import of the message is that the Muslim tribes should follow the sign of the swastika.
Can you tell if the document is authentic?
How could it be? If it were genuine, it would be in the tomb, and not on its way to the tomb from Berlin. It's just a clumsy German attempt to embroil us in the war.
It must be humiliating to know that you will someday be hung for treachery which failed.
At least you will never live to hang me.
First job is to locate the Axis agents here in Casablanca. Their radio communication should help. We know they're in radio contact with Berlin. Pierre, can you arrange for listening posts to try to locate their stations?
Certainly. Signal Corps will... pardon. French diplomatic headquarters. Just one moment, please. It's the Sultan.
Rex Bennett speaking, Your Highness.
I have decided to ask you to investigate an attempt which was made on my life yesterday.
I'll be glad to. Where did it happen?
About 5 miles out on the coast road. Several shots were fired at me from an abandoned fisherman's shack.
I'll investigate immediately. Certainly, sir. Somebody shot at the Sultan yesterday when he was passing a shack on the coast road. I'm going out there to look the place over. You go ahead with the radio arrangements?
Right away.
The criminals remained at the scene of their crime, Mr. Bennett. We guessed you might be asked to investigate this place. Where are the underground headquarters of the United Nations in Berlin?
I suppose you'll let me go if I tell you.
No? But some means of dying are more pleasant than others. Let me show you. That might have been your arm, Mr. Bennett.
Under the circumstances, I'd be foolish not to talk.
Remember, you will be held until the truth of what you say is verified by radio from Berlin.
The address is 92 Lindenstrasse.
Get a rope. Come out from under there.
FD-21.
Pierre talking. Go ahead, Rex.
Have your listening post be on the alert for any message about 92 Lindenstrasse. I think the station we're looking for is about to send one.
92 Lindenstrasse. Right.
I'm coming back to your office. Be there in half an hour.
It is 4 kilometers from here to the river. Just around the bend, you see? We caught the message about 92 Lindenstrasse.
Did you locate the station?
Yes, it's just about here.
That's Caliph Canyon. Let's go.
It should be right here, but that's only a native camp.
If there's a radio station around here, it's certainly well camouflaged.
There's one way to find out. If there's a radio transmitter near here, it should give off a lot of static. We'll cruise around and we find the place where the static's loudest, and that should be it. Turn on the radio, Chandler.
The static's getting louder.
Yes, we must be getting close. Better look over that tent. Keep him covered, Jenna.
Here it comes.
Berlin calling. Investigation of 92 Lindenstrasse shows that your information was false. Das ist alles.
Shut off the generator.
Yes, sir.
Bennett tricked me. If he ever falls into my hands again, he'll wish he was never born.
You may wish the same thing, my friend. See if he's armed, Pierre. Keep him covered, Jenna.
Bennett tricked me. If he ever falls into my hands again, he'll wish he was never born.
You may wish the same thing, my friend. See if he's armed, Pierre.
Wolf escaped and the other man's dead.
You two search this place. Take all papers back to the office and decode them.
Right.
I'm going to Casablanca and tell Sultan what happened.
And being disarmed, I was obliged to run away from a girl and leave the enemy in possession. All that stuff is in code, Your Excellency. What use is that? Pierre LaSalle is a past master at decoding.
Sultan Suite. Very well. Send him in. Rex Bennett, he's coming in.
Get below. We take the precaution of keeping all doors locked since the attempt on my life.
Wise precaution, Your Highness. I came to report that I almost caught one of the men who attacked you. I will have information shortly which may expose all of them. We found some important documents in code. As soon as we've decoded them, I can tell you more.
Thank you. I shall await your report with interest.
Those messages will tell them that the U-417 will arrive at Saladin Inlet today to take on supplies and bring us those secret charts.
Have Wolf fly down and warn the submarine commander. Then destroy the warehouse.
Yes. Go to the sub-base at Saladin Inlet and secure papers which the commander of U-417 will have for you. And warn him to clear out. There may be an attack.
How can anyone attack there? All approaches to the place are mined and guarded.
That is not enough. Take one of the stolen American planes and execute my orders.
Yes, sir. One of these days, my people will penetrate your master's disguise and drive you and every other Nazi from our land.
Shut him up.
And will arrive at the warehouse base on Saladin Inlet on the 24th.
24th? That's today. Never mind that other stuff for now, Pierre. We have to investigate that submarine. You stay here, Janet. If we need help, we'll call you on the short wave from the station wagon.
Has anyone passed by this way, Ali?
No one.
Stand guard over this plane until I return.
The road is mined and guarded. Remember to make the sign.
Hold the load.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler. What news?
The best. The United Nations are bringing the greatest convoy of all times. Food, ammunition, and reinforcements for their North African armies.
You call that good news?
Yes, because we know their exact course, and the Wolfpack, our undersea fleet, is lying in wait for them.
The likeliest place is that old warehouse at the point of the inlet.
Yes, submarine cut dock there.
That takes care of them.
We've got to get to that warehouse. You get their horses. I'll radio Janet to bring a plane and wait for us in that open field south of Saladin.
Those charts show the route of the convoy and the location of our ambush. When this blow falls, the Führer will be master of the world.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler. Prepare to submerge.
Got to abandon this place. Burn everything. When you are through, go back to your village and wait for further orders. I'm going to Casablanca right now.
Will you need a car?
No, I have a plane in the field, 2 miles out of here.
Stay where you are, Wolf. You won't need that plane. So that's the way it's done, eh? See if the submarines blow, Pierre.
Janet is going to land at the same field where Wolf's plane is.
I'll go after him. See if you can recover that briefcase from the water.
Where's Pierre?
The warehouse trying to recover a briefcase wolfed through in the ocean. He'll meet us at headquarters. Take that horse.
You got it? Yes. It's a chart showing the course of the big United States food convoy.
What's this?
That is where the submarine Wolfpack is waiting to destroy it.
All the natives in North Africa are counting on that food to save them from starvation.
How soon does the convoy reach that submarine position?
In about 6 hours.
Our destroyers can get there in time.
Sea strength was dealt a devastating blow yesterday when a wolf pack of lurking submarines was bombed to a watery grave by United States destroyers. The food convoy, which the undersea raiders sought to is now safely docked in Casablanca.
This is a serious defeat for Germany.
Germany knows no defeat.
But the food is already here.
Here, but not yet distributed. It is still in the city warehouses and it can be destroyed.
That would require tons of explosives. And we have none left in Casablanca.
But we still have our secret supply in the desert. Give this to Wolf and tell him to bring in the explosives at once.
Yes, Your Excellency. Important assignment. Go to the location indicated on this map and bring in enough demolition bombs to blow up every food warehouse in the city.
You Nazis are as foolish as you are stubborn. The Americans brought that food 3,000 miles across the sea to feed my people. Do you think they will be careless enough to let you destroy it now?
It's a graveyard.
That's what it is called. When our cruiser, the von Strauss, was driven ashore here by the British, the captain got permission from the Vichy government to bury his dead in this place. Instead, he threw the dead man overboard and buried his arms, ammunition, and explosives in the supposed graveyard. Now, this map shows which type of explosive is in each grave and the wiring arrangement which will set off the charges if anyone meddles with the crosses.
I understand. A clever scheme. I will go there at once.
Good.
Don't touch any of these crosses. They are wired to detonators, which would blow up the whole field if they are moved. The bombs we want are in this grave and the center one. Get to work.
The safe arrival of that convoy will be the talk of the world.
I feel a lot happier about it when the food's been safely distributed. It's too costly a prize to be overlooked by those saboteurs.
What could they possibly do about it now?
Well, they could blow up the warehouses. That's what we're trying to prevent.
Pierre is out posting men with these bomb detectors at every street entering the city. If anyone tries to bring in explosives, the bomb detector will expose them.
Hello?
Yes? I'll be right over. They've picked up something at the main gate. Stay here and tell Pierre when he gets back.
My man has just reported that your wagon went to Ahmed Ali's blacksmith shop.
Right, I'll look it over.
Our master's very clever to have had such a secure hiding place for these explosives.
Yes, if the French knew what those graves in Salina Canyon are filled with.
That's all I need to know.
Get rid of your gun.
The knife.
Bennett found out about the explosives. Fill in those graves and get out. I must go to a radio and warn His Excellency. And don't touch those crosses. Hey!
just received the coroner's report. The remains of those Arabs were finally identified. They were employed as tourist guides at the Oasis Cafe.
The Oasis? That'd be an ideal rendezvous for Nazi agents.
But how can we make sure the minute we walked in they'd recognize us?
They have a French dancing girl there by the name of Zara, who is loyal to the United Nations. She would do anything to help us trap our enemies.
I've just received word from Hassan that the Americans have donated huge quantities of medical supplies and blood plasma to the French. These must be destroyed.
Every enemy soldier who dies brings the fatherland nearer to victory.
Right. Hassan's agent will meet you at the Oasis Cafe with the plans. He will give you an ingenious device for destroying the supplies. Pay the agent this money.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Sergeant Speed. One moment. Agent M23, masquerading as a blind beggar, has just seen Zara entering LaSalle's office.
Zara? Who's Zara?
The dancing girl at the Oasis Cafe.
Dancing girl? She may be an enemy spy. We can settle all doubts efficiently. Von Rommler speaking. That girl must not leave LaSalle's office alive.
We certainly appreciate your coming here, Zara.
If I have helped, I am glad.
Miss Blake's impersonation of you may give her an opportunity to learn the identity of the chief German agents.
He's done for.
He was aiming directly at Zara. That can mean only one thing. The German agents know that Zara came here. We've got to get to Janet before they discover her. Order a squad of your men to meet us at the Oasis Cafe.
This man has the device you ordered.
Did you bring the money?
Yes.
This is the device for destroying the medical supplies. It's an incendiary watch containing a compartment of combustible chemicals. You set it for the time you want it to ignite, and then wind it.
I understand.
Here is a plan of the supply depot. You drive to the rear. There you will meet one of our agents to help you dispose of the guards.
Good.
Stop! Come down.
It's Zara. You're wrong, Sophie. She works with Rex Bennett and LaSalle. Get upstairs at once and see if they're in the cafe.
Everybody, please keep quiet and don't try to leave. This place is surrounded. What became of the girl who was dancing here?
She went out that door.
The cafe is raided. You have nothing to fear. Without this girl, they can prove nothing. Stall him till I get away. Wait inside the cask in case anything goes wrong.
Get downstairs. Where's Miss Blake?
Never heard of her.
Don't lie to me or you'll hang for this night's work. Watch this, man. There must be a secret exit to this place. Janet's ring. What did you find?
The tunnel leads to an alley 2 blocks away. There was no one on site there except a native. He said he saw a man force a girl into a station wagon and drive off down the Guedalla Road.
Guedalla Road? Take a look at this. Writing seems to be Arabic.
This is the layout of the French supply depot on the Guedalla Road. Do you think he's taken Janet over there?
He might have. You take over here. I'll investigate this clue.
And now, Miss Blake, we are about to give you a demonstration of German efficiency.
Atrocity is a better word. Destroying medical supplies intended for suffering soldiers will make a story which will shock the world.
Unfortunately for you, this is one story you will never write. Put a gag in her mouth. I've set the watch so that the chemicals will ignite at 9 o'clock. You have 1 minute to live, Miss Blake.
All right, Wolf. Get him up. Get rid of that gun. The knife.
I've set the watch so that the chemicals will ignite at 9 o'clock. You have 1 minute to live, Miss Blake.
Get him up. Get rid of that gun. The knife.
stupidity endangers our entire organization.
There was no clue left except the charred remains of the watch.
That's all Rex Bennett needs. He will discover where the incendiary device was made.
That doesn't point to us, Excellency.
But it points to Hassan, the brass worker. He has just completed an electric ear machine for the destruction of the United Nations courier, arriving this afternoon with the territorial treaties. Go to Hassan, pick up the electric ear, and warn him to be on guard against Rex Bennett.
Well, there's no question but this device was used to start the fire. You can just locate the man who made it.
That won't be easy. There isn't an identifying mark on it.
There are only a few craftsmen in Casablanca who are able to do that sort of a job. The most likely suspect is a brass worker by the name of Hassan.
Place is under suspicion, Hassan. Rex Bennett may come here.
After you have taken the electric gear away, he will find nothing. My men are waiting for you at Crozon Pass.
Good. Now, if you will explain how the mechanism works.
It is very simple and very deadly. When the switches are on, the device reacts to the sound of any motor within the radius of a mile. At the same time, the indicator moves on the dial, measuring the approach of the motor. And when the hand reaches zero...
Explosion?
Yeah, just like that.
Splendid. Then the enemy courier cannot escape.
Not if you do your part. My little demon will not fail. However, should anything go wrong, Rommler will be waiting in the secret radio room. What can I do for you, miss?
I'm interested in that pair of fluted candlesticks in the window.
Thank you. I'll get them. Beautiful, aren't they?
I'll take them.
Yes, gentlemen?
Police investigation, Hassan.
How can I help, sir?
Any idea who made this?
A watch? I wouldn't know, sir. Perhaps if you inquired of some of the jewelers.
Couldn't make a guess, eh?
I'm sorry, sir.
All right, Pierre, we'll try some of the jewelers. Thanks, Hassan.
Tell Rama to radio headquarters that Bennett and LaSalle have been here. Wolf had already left with the electric gear to assassinate the United Nations courier at Crozon Bridge.
Just a few more questions, Hassan.
Certainly, if I can help.
A young woman left the shop just as we came in a while ago. You know anything about her?
Nothing.
She's suspected of being an Axis spy.
I have never seen her before.
When she came in, she was carrying a black case. She didn't take it out with her. You mind if we look around?
No, but I'm sure it isn't here.
Here it is.
I assure you, gentlemen, I know nothing of this.
We'll soon find out.
Tell Rommler to radio headquarters that Bennett and LaSalle have been here. Wolf had already left with the electric gear to assassinate the United Nations courier at Crozon Bridge.
Handcuff those men together. We'll pick them up later.
But how did they know the diplomatic courier was coming over the Crozon Road? It's a secret mission.
We've no time to discuss that now. We've got to get to the Crozon Bridge.
Remember, give me time to get out of range so that the machine won't react to my motor. Then throw on the switch and watch the dial. As soon as the indicator starts to move, get away from the bridge. Keep out of sight. No one is to go through.
Warn the courier before he crosses the bridge.
Perhaps if I ride back toward Casablanca, they'll follow me. Then you could get through.
We'll both ride back, but regardless of what happens to me, you keep going, understand?
Get after them!
foils Nazi murder plot. Rex Bennett saves life of United Nations courier. Rex Bennett outwits you again. We Germans boast that we are supermen. Brave, clever, invincible. And you let this American dog...
Sultan Suite? Yes? All right. Janet Blake, the journalist, is on her way in.
Get below. I am delighted, Miss Blake. Please be seated. May I congratulate you? Your story of the outrage at Crozan Bridge is wonderful.
Your Highness is very kind, but my editors want to follow up on that story at once. This attack, like the others, was made by native tribesmen. Am I to tell my readers that the peoples of North Africa are pro-Nazi?
Not at all. These attacks are the work of outlaws and renegades. The people of North Africa favor the cause of the United Nations.
Would you release an official statement to that effect?
Certainly. How soon do you need it?
My story must be on the wires within an hour.
Mr. Mahler will bring the statement to your room as soon as I dictate it.
Thank you. That'll really help me out.
You are going to be very helpful to our cause. Goodbye, Miss Blake.
Goodbye.
Rex Bennett is too clever for you Nazi swine. The day of your exposure draws near.
You can't let her release that story. Hitler will broadcast to the world this afternoon upon the North African situation. Her story would be a direct contradiction of his.
Calm down, Müller. Miss Blake, as I told her, is going to be very helpful to our cause.
Armand, I just have time to get my story on the wire. If my office calls, will you say I'll be there in 10 minutes?
No, I'll tell them, Miss Blake.
Thank you.
Don't raise an alarm. Drive straight out the shore road.
Get out.
Take her to the boat.
News?
No, I was just testing my reception. Hitler is going to broadcast this afternoon, and I don't want to miss him. Pierre LaSalle speaking. What? Did you try the hotel? All right, we'll investigate at once.
What's wrong?
Janet didn't file her story. She left the hotel for the newspaper office and never got there.
So what? Perhaps she had trouble with her car. Try to get her on the short wave.
FD 21. Calling JB. Come in, JB. That's her car.
It's not moving. The motor's idling.
FD 21, calling JB. Come in.
Call the radio control tower. Have them triangulate and locate the car in a 10-meter wavelength.
I'm Captain Boschert, Chief of Propaganda for the Führer, Miss Blake.
Stop.
I will conduct this affair, Herr Wolf.
Yes, sir.
You may return to your chief. Tell him that everything will go as planned. Have your men return here and stand guard. We are conferring a great honor upon you, Miss Blake. Following Hitler's broadcast to the world, you will speak to your own countrymen, confirming as an eyewitness all that the Führer has said. Your speech is prepared.
And suppose I refuse?
You will be choosing between a pleasant life and a very unpleasant death. I think you'll change your mind. Carl, show the young lady our persuader. Placed in there, as others have been before you, think it over. You still have 20 minutes before the Führer speaks.
Go back and stand guard. Let no one near the Moorish castle until the girl's broadcast is finished.
Hold it. We'll take that boat back to the Moorish castle.
Herrlichkeit als des Volkes und Vaterlandes Retter zu wählen. Dieselbe Kameradschaft und dieselbe
Heil Hitler!
Treue.
Raise your hand, Fräulein.
Not for that murderer.
Nichts wird dann diese Bewegung mehr aus Deutschland löschen können.
American Bennett!
Heil Hitler! Raise your hand, Fräulein.
Not for that murderer.
Nichts wird dann diese Bewegung mehr aus Deutschland löschen können.
American Bennett!
I think he's the only one that was a member of the Nazi organization here. Keep him covered while I look at the others, then we'll question him.
Rex! He took something out of that ring and swallowed it. He's committed suicide.
Maybe. Neurotoxin. It's a
a Japanese drug. It causes suspended animation. The victim is apparently dead until the effect of the drug wears off.
But why did he take it?
He wanted us to think he was dead. He knows we won't guard his coffin, and he expects his friends to steal his body before he revives. I know you can hear me, Wolf, even if you can't answer. Your scheme may work, but it'll end by leading us directly to your headquarters.
In a daring raid on a secret Nazi rendezvous yesterday, United Nations agents broke up an important Axis spy ring. 2 of the Nazis were killed, and the third, a notorious saboteur known as Wolf, committed suicide after his capture.
So, Wolf committed suicide. That neurotoxin our Japanese friends developed is indeed a very useful drug. Does it say what disposition is being made of the body?
The bodies of the 3 spies will be interred this afternoon in the East Side burial field.
That is all we need to know. Have some men at the burial field in time to...
Keep quiet and you won't get hurt. Put this one back in the hearse. You can go now. I'll watch them till you get away.
Calling B-54. Calling B-54.
B-54, go ahead, Rex.
Everything's working perfectly. We just turned north on Wadi Petro Road. Looks like we're heading for the waterfront district. Has Pierre come in yet?
Not yet. Do you want us to follow you when he comes?
No, wait until I can give you definite orders.
All right.
Calling R19. Calling R19.
The radio's smashed. We must stop Wolf before he can warn his friends about Rex.
Call His Excellency. Calling B-54. Calling B-54.
Calling R-19. Calling R-19.
This is R-19. Come in.
This is D-32. Wolf has arrived.
Good. His Excellency. We'll be over there at once.
Get the hypodermic serum, Müller. If Wolf is still unconscious, we may need it to revive him. Do you have any serum which would give more life to the Axis campaign in North Africa, von Rommler? It seems to me your cause has been failing badly. It needs reviving, too. As long as your people think I am their leader, my cause is theirs. You would do well to pray for its success. Wolf!
Our plan failed. They knew about our drug. Rex Bennett is in that coffin.
1 D-32.
Calling B-54. Calling B-54. Janet, come in.
Calling D-32. Calling D-32. This is R-19. Calling D-32.
D-32 answering. Come in.
We've been tricked. Rex Bennett is in that coffin.
Drop that gun.
You'll have to answer some questions. First, I'll take care of that leg. The Chandler shop is evidently a front for manufacturing these strange weapons.
Looks like a torpedo.
Well, if it is, it's a new type. Look here. This base is apparently a contact unit for some lethal device that fits inside. These cables prove that. What we have to find out is what that device is and where it's being made.
The man you captured could probably tell us.
Did you get any information from Fazal?
No, neither threats nor promises will make him talk. I've ordered him removed to the prison camp.
Well, if he's important enough, won't the Nazis try to rescue him?
Yeah, perhaps. Before you take him away, I want the blacksmith to make a special set of shoes for the horse he's going to ride. Maybe we can outwit the Nazis at their own game.
He may have found one of our dynamo casings.
He won't know what they are for, but he'll certainly try to find out. We must get all the dynamos we have at hand safely aboard this commander's submarine at once.
Our Wolfpack commander reports that the dynamos have proven successful.
Let me see his report. One of our electronic dynamos containing radio-activated electrons was discharged through a torpedo tube. The dynamo floated to the surface, and instantly the generated current was magnified by the water 1,000 times. When the enemy ship was within a 50-foot radius of the dynamo, the powerful electronic rays were transmitted through the steel hull, electrocuting everyone aboard.
Wonderful, Excellency. Then our U-boat commander is ready for the supreme effort.
Yes, gentlemen. This afternoon, our wolf pack will discharge these messengers of death into a gigantic convoy, escorting 250,000 American troops.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Headquarters calling K-37. Headquarters calling K-37.
Come in, headquarters.
Wolf speaking. Clear all the electronic dynamos out of your place. Deliver them to me at the Point Casper warehouse by noon.
All right. What news have you about Fazal?
Don't worry about him. We will manage his escape.
You are reckoning without Rex Bennett. Death is the only real escape for his enemies.
All clear, Rex. Our prisoner's out of sight. Your plan worked.
That's only part of it. Look at those hoof prints.
Why, they're completely enclosed.
I had a blacksmith weld a small bar across the open end of each shoe.
We can't lose that trail.
You're a free man, Faisal. We're moving these electronic dynamos to the Point Cosba warehouse. I'll contact Wolf there and tell him you escaped.
Keep away from that radio. Turn around. Electronic dynamos. These are a new and deadly weapon, Pierre. For German submarines, aren't they?
You'll find out.
That Point Cosba warehouse.
Have the electronic dynamos arrived?
Not yet.
I ordered them brought here by noon. I will have to contact the commander of our submarine fleet. Calling you 417. N73, calling you 417.
Come in, N73. This is U417. I'm standing by to take aboard the rest of those electronic dynamos.
Unfortunately, the shipment has been delayed. I trust this won't interfere with your plans.
No. My submarines are waiting outside the 12-mile limit. Prepare to attack when the American troop convoy is sighted.
I will contact you the moment the shipment arrives.
Very well.
Get your hands up. Pierre, we've got to save those ships from the Nazi wolf pack. You guard this man, I'll take escort.
N73 calling U417. And Bennett is in the speedboat heading for the naval base.
We are right in his course. We'll take care of him.
Order the torpedo room to load the electronic dynamo.
Very well, sir.
Torpedo room reports the electronic dynamo ready, sir.
Set the automatic firing device.
Stand by. Fire!
Is in the speedboat heading for the naval base.
We are right in his course. We'll take care of him.
Order the torpedo room to load the electronic dynamo.
Very well, sir.
Set the automatic firing device.
Stand by. Fire! Bennett has escaped. Contact Wolf.
U417 calling N73. U417 calling N73.
That should be news about Rex Bennett's death.
U417 calling N73.
N73 answering.
Our electronic dynamo destroyed Bennett's boat, but he dived overboard and escaped the death race.
If he reaches the naval authorities, our plan to sink the troop ships will be defeated. Surface at once and machine gun him.
Impossible. Allied shore batteries are all along this coast.
Then warn the other U-boats. Immediately. I will contact headquarters. N73 calling headquarters.
Go ahead.
Rex, Bennett, and LaSalle made a surprise attack on the warehouse. We captured LaSalle, but Bennett escaped. is sure to warn naval authorities. What are my instructions?
So, dogs, the wheel of justice grinds your schemes to dust.
Your orders are to destroy everything of value in the warehouse and take LaSalle to the Oasis Cafe and contact us for further instructions.
Get on your feet.
Thanks to a warning from Rex Bennett, the entire U-boat fleet was destroyed and the convoy carrying 250,000 of our troops got through without the loss of a single ship or man.
Rex Bennett again.
Unless we find some way to stop those Allied ships from getting through, our cause in North Africa is lost.
LaSalle is in our hands. Through him, we could get one of the American munition disintegrators.
Munition disintegrators? What are they, Excellency?
An electric ray device that explodes any type munitions within a 1-mile radius.
If we had one, we could destroy all the Allied ships delivering munitions.
Agent G7 reports that the Americans have turned one over to the French. It is stored at Pier 17 at their supply terminal. We'll force LaSalle to write an order for it.
We went to the warehouse as you ordered, sir. Captain LaSalle was not there.
Did you search the place thoroughly?
Yes, sir. This is all we found.
Pierre's ring.
Return and search the surrounding territory.
Yes.
Pierre must have been in a tight spot. Cards are obviously meant to convey a message to us.
2 aces with a hole torn in the center. What could that signify?
A hole might represent a circle. Circle and aces doesn't make sense.
Could the circle possibly stand for the letter O?
It might at that. Let's see. Aces and O. Aces. Hey, we've hit it. O and Aces, the Oasis Cafe. That's where we arrested those Nazi spies.
But you ordered it closed.
Right. That's why they think it's safe. They believe we won't search there again. I'll explode that theory.
It may be a trap.
Perhaps, but I know the secret entrance. You wait here. I'm going to the Oasis.
Right. Deliver the munitions disintegrator to bearer for emergency use. Pierre LaSalle. Tie him up till I get back.
Wolf just went up the stairs. He's heading for the supply terminal to get the munitions disintegrator. He forced me to sign an order.
Watch this man. I'll get Wolf.
Who are you?
We are here to pick up the munition disintegrator.
Have you an order?
Certainly.
Put up your hand.
What's wrong? That order was written by Pierre LaSalle.
Yes, but the phrase for emergency use is a secret code, meaning arrest the bearer. Turn around.
Close the door while we load the disintegrator.
All right, Wolf. Get him up.
and stop him. I will wait for you at the blacksmith shop.
Munitions disintegrator?
Yes, I will notify headquarters.
You have any trouble?
Bennett tried to follow me, but Rocan dropped off to stop him. Calling headquarters.
Come in, Wolf.
I have the secret weapon out here in this blacksmith shop.
Well done. Wait there for further orders. His Excellency is attending a conference at the United Nations headquarters. I'll call you back as soon as he returns.
Don't be so satisfied. The overconfidence of your master is the first step towards defeat.
As long as everyone believes he is the Sultan, he is powerful enough to overcome all opposition.
There is splendid news, Miller. We secured the munitions disintegrator at a very opportune time.
You haven't objected?
One of utmost importance. The executive chiefs of the United Nations are flying to Casablanca this afternoon, escorted by an armada of American bombers.
And we can destroy them with their own secret weapon?
Precisely. The death of the Allied leaders will shatter their country's morale and ensure victory for the Axis. Their planes are flying in from the Atlantic at 4 o'clock. Notify Wolf at once.
Yes, Your Excellency. This time, even Rex Bennett cannot stop us.
Where's Wolf?
Couldn't wait for you. He had orders to take the disintegrator to Carl's place at Pindar Point. You're to follow him there at once. Take my horse.
Sorry, but I'll need that horse. Get your hands up. Calling FD-21.
Come in, Rex.
Janet, put Pierre on.
Pierre isn't here. He was called to headquarters in some important diplomatic assignment. Do you need help?
Yes, I'm on the track with the munitions disintegrator, and I want Pierre to bring a plane.
I'll bring it. Where are you?
18 miles east of Casablanca on the Pindar Point Road.
I'll be right out.
Nice work, Janet.
What have you learned?
I haven't time to explain now. Wait here and I'll pick you up later.
Where are you going?
Get the disintegrator.
Aren't you ready yet? We have only 10 minutes before the planes arrive with the Allied leaders.
I think everything's in order, but this is a very complicated machine. I'm not sure how well it'll work until I try it out.
We can't try it out until the bombers come within range. It will have to work. Here they come. It's a single plane coming from the wrong direction. But it's a United Nations plane. Here's your chance to test the machine.
We still have time. When I give the word, pull that lever. Now.
Pilot bailed out. I'll have to get rid of him. Get ready for the others. He's dropping into the grove. Take these and finish him. Right on schedule. In another 2 minutes, it will be close enough.
As soon as they get within range, they'll be blasted from the sky.
In another 2 minutes, we'll be close enough.
As soon as they get within range, they'll be blasted from the sky.
Conference is the biggest news story in months. Rex, if you hadn't saved those planes bringing in the Allied leaders, there wouldn't be a conference.
If the tribes will agree to cooperate openly with us, that will mean the end of the Axis in Africa.
Rex Bennett speaking. Yes, sir. I understand. Goodbye. That was our headquarters. The conference is over. I'm to report to the Sultan for an important assignment.
There may be a story in it. May I go with you?
Sure. Well, the Sultan should be back at his hotel by now.
Was there anything definite decided at the conference?
Too much. The sheiks agreed to the construction of an Allied air base on the Messina Heights.
But that would command our only remaining supply route.
Exactly. I opposed the agreement as strongly as I dared, but all the sheiks favored it.
Is the contract in its final form already?
No. It lacks the signature of the Sheikh Fedallah, who was too ill to attend the meeting. So we still have a chance to stop its going through. Rex Bennett is going to take the document to the Sheikh for his signature. Wolf, you must order our men to stop him.
We have an appointment with the Sultan.
Certainly. The Sultan's suite. Oh, this is Armand, Mr. Muller. Miss Blake and Mr. Bennett are here. Thank you. You may go in.
Thanks, Armand.
Come in, please.
I'm reporting for my assignment, Your Excellency.
Your mission is very important, Mr. Bennett, though relatively simple. You are to take this agreement regarding an airbase to Sheikh Fedallah for his signature.
Yes, sir. I'll leave at once. May Miss Blake go with me?
Certainly. You will probably have an interesting trip.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wait until they are close. We must not miss.
These tracks are fresh, and that canyon would make an ideal place for an ambush.
Well, if anyone's there, they're well hidden.
Yeah, but if they got horses, I can locate them. Smelling salts will make my horse whinny. Any other horses within hearing will answer him.
stop them. From now on, it's all easy traveling to Fidala's grotto.
I'm Abdul, son of the Sheikh Fidala. How may I serve you?
We have a document for the Sheikh's signature.
My father is very ill.
I'm sorry to disturb him, but this is from the Sultan himself.
In that case, I'm sure he will accept it. Please wait here.
What is it?
An American agent brought this document from the Sultan.
Very well. I will ring for him when I have read it. Prepare coffee for our guests, Relza.
Yes, master.
My father is reading the document. He will ring that bell when he is ready to see you. Would you like to visit the other grottos while your friend is conferring?
Why, yes, that would be very interesting.
Then come this way, please.
Calling N33. Calling N33.
This is N33. Come in.
Relza reporting. The American is here with the document.
So Wolf failed to stop him. You will have to finish him now, Relza. The Sheikh must never sign that document.
I understand. Even though your cowardly master is posing as the Sultan, he still cannot force my people to support your cause.
We have other means of achieving our aims, as Mr. Bennett soon will learn.
There is a special penalty for murder in these sacred grottos.
I didn't kill him.
Seize him! I have the testimony of one of my own people. Rosa found you along with the sheep bending over his body. That is proof enough. Rouser, prepare the execution wheel. You will have the honor of dying by the ancient ceremonial method, which has always been used to execute the defilers of this sacred place. The purifying waters themselves will turn the wheel of your destruction. Death will be avenged, my father. You will have the honor of dying by the ancient ceremonial method, which has always been used to execute the defilers of this sacred place. Purifying waters themselves will turn the wheel of your destruction. Death will be avenged, my father. This broken chain betrays you, Relza. Remove the carrion. I am sorry, Mr. Bennett.
No harm has been done to us if my mission can still be completed. I don't like to be insistent at such a moment.
I understand. My father would have signed this. I can do no less.
Construction of the new Allied air base will greatly strengthen your cause and ours.
The murderer is dead. And now, with your permission, I shall take the body of my father to his people.
You realize that Relza was merely the tool of someone who wished to prevent the signing of this document.
The Sultan is the only one who knew we were coming here.
Sultan Abou Ben Ali was my father's friend. He is above suspicion.
But Muller, his secretary, he also knew of my mission here.
If Muller's our man, he may show his hand when he learns that Relza's dead.
He won't learn that. We'll use Relza as bait for our rat trap. Can you furnish Miss Blake with an escort?
Gladly.
Take this signed document to Casablanca. See the Sultan and tell him...
Any word from Relza?
Nothing. Sultan Suite, Mr. Miller speaking. Thank you. The Blake girl is on her way in. Good afternoon, Miss Blake.
I must see the Sultan.
Come in, please. Please be seated. I trust Mr. Bennett was successful in getting the Sheik's signature.
Yes. Here it is.
Abdul? Why didn't Fedallah sign it himself?
Abdul is now the Sheik. His father was murdered by one of his attendants.
Who is the assassin?
A man called Relza.
I presume he was executed at once.
No, he tried to commit suicide but failed. He's in a coma now. However, Rex Bennett is there to question him when he regains consciousness.
Is that likely?
Pierre LaSalle is on his way there with a doctor. We hope that Relza can be revived long enough to tell us who ordered the assassination.
That's very important.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must cable my story.
If Relza does recover, he may be forced to talk.
Suppose he does, he knows nothing of me.
But he knows me. I employed him.
What? Didn't I tell you to leave such details to Wolf? Have Relza eliminated at once.
Yes, sir. You overheard?
Yes. You shouldn't have trusted Relza with the job.
If you hadn't failed, it would have been unnecessary.
When Nazi dogs quarrel, the time for deliverance is at hand.
Silence! You must arrange to have Relza killed before he can talk.
That's impossible.
Shall I tell von Rommler that?
No, wait. Relza told me about the secret entrance to the rear of the grotto. I may be able to get at him while my men attack the front. The grotto is just ahead. You men attack the front entrance. Voila, you come with me to the secret door in the rear.
You made good time. Do you think Muller fell for it?
I'm not certain. If he's guilty, he concealed it cleverly, though he did ask me some rather pointed questions.
Any idea what they might do?
Rescue Relza before he can talk. If they try that, we'll have positive proof Muller's our man. Whatever they try, it should be soon. Pierre, we'd better wait outside. Janet, you stay here. They mustn't see you.
Where's Elsa?
What's happened? Where's Relza?
He wasn't there. This girl has a lot of questions to answer.
Wolf took Janet.
Then I jumped. That was the finish of Rex Bennett and his girl.
But Pierre LaSalle is still alive, and he can testify that I was implicated in the Sheik's murder.
Don't worry, after tonight, our mission in Casablanca will be completed. The Sheik signed an agreement giving me full power to negotiate for them.
This agreement favors the cause of the United Nations.
Yes, but it entitles me to receive copies of the United Nations strategic plan for the conduct of the North African campaign. They will be delivered to me tonight by Sir James Langley, the United Nations courier, in exchange for this agreement. They will reveal all that was planned when Allied leaders crossed the seas to meet here in Casablanca. Troop movements, naval and air bases, gun emplacements, everything, down to the last detail. Tonight's work will justify my impersonation of Sultan Abou Ben Ali and restore my prestige with our Führer. Heil Hitler! Heil Hitler! Our success is assured by the death of Rex Bennett.
Warrant for the arrest of Ernest Muller as a saboteur and German secret agent.
Then we can act at once.
That's headline news.
Well, the story isn't for publication yet. The arrest of a member of the Sultan's household would be political dynamite right now.
All right, I won't release it till you give me the word.
We'd better hurry before he slips away.
We wish to see the Sultan at once.
Oh, the Sultan left word that he wouldn't see anyone this afternoon.
He'll see us.
All our records must be removed. Yes? All right. Rex Bennett and Pierre LaSalle are here.
Impossible. I saw...
Get below.
I must escape.
There's no escape for you, Müller.
No, wait!
One moment. One moment, please.
Your Highness, what happened?
Muller. He suddenly attacked me, seized me by the throat and nearly strangled me. Then I shot him.
You have cheated the firing squad, Your Highness. Muller was a Nazi agent.
Muller? A traitor? Why, I trusted him with every secret.
That's why he was able to combat us so successfully. Your Highness has done the Allied cause a great service.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. And what am I to do now?
Make a statement to the military authorities. We'll take you there and see that you're returned here safely.
It worked like a charm.
But not for long. The trap is closing on you Nazi rats.
What's the matter with the Sultan's story, Rex? We all know Bonner was a spy.
That sounds all right. There's a flaw in it somewhere.
Stop it, you jerk!
Rex!
That's it.
I don't understand.
Don't you see? That's what's wrong with the Sultan's story.
What do you mean?
When I choked Pierre, he grabbed from my hands. He couldn't help it. As long as his wind was cut off, he couldn't have thought of a gun, and neither could the Sultan.
You're right. The Sultan lied.
What becomes of my story?
It'll be improved before morning.
Yes, Emma?
Bennett is returning here.
Clear the lobby. Tell your guests a blackout is expected. And the authorities request that all retire to their rooms. Then place men in the lobby to delay Bennett until we can get away.
Bennett is on his way here. We've got to clear out before he comes.
What about these secret documents?
Must be destroyed.
Allah be praised. The moment of your destruction draws near.
But yours is nearer. And even in death, you will continue to serve me. When they find your body, they will think I am dead. And no one will ever know of my impersonation of you. Not even the amazing Rex Bennett. When you have everything ready to burn, take the Sultan upstairs. And kill him. I'll wait outside in the car.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Did you inform the Sultan I was coming?
I'll tell him you're here.
Tie him up, and then comes the Sultan's suite.
Get over there.
What's the delay?
Rex Bennett is up there.
What about the Sultan?
I shot him.
We'll even lock the door after us.
What about Luger?
He must be sacrificed for the Führer. What's the delay?
Rex Bennett is up there.
What about the Sultan?
I shot him.
We'll even lock the door after us.
What about Luger?
He must be sacrificed for the Führer.
the flames confine.
The Sultan? Who shot him?
His German comrades giving him the usual Nazi reward for collaboration with them. We'll get him to the hospital. If he recovers, we may be able to get some information about his Nazi friends.
I'll send in the fire alarm.
I've always admired the late Sultan's choice of tobacco.
By now, Rex Bennett has found the Sultan's body.
We have nothing to fear. By the time my impersonation of him will be discovered, we shall be safely on our way to Berlin. Meanwhile, the final act in our little drama is about to unfold. In exchange for this treaty, guaranteeing the support of the North African tribes, Sir James Langley, the Allied courier, will deliver to me the war strategy plans of the United Nations in Africa. He will be here shortly.
The Fuhrer will decorate you for outsmarting the clever Rex Bennett.
You may question the Sultan now, but make it brief. He's quite weak.
Thank you, Doctor. Your Highness?
Who are you?
I'm Rex Bennett.
I've heard of you, but never met you. Did you get von Rommler?
Von Rommler? Who is he?
Baron von Rommler, the Nazi official, sent here by Hitler to impersonate me and betray my people.
He's probably delirious.
My mind is quite clear. Tonight, von Rommler is to get the United Nations war plans from Sir James. You must stop him. I can't permit any further questioning.
Is he delirious?
I think not. It might interest you to know that his wrists bear the marks of irons, and his body is covered with welts and bruises.
I'd better call Sir James and warn him not to give those plans to anyone. Get me the Embassy Club. Hello, this is Rex Bennett. Is Sir James Langley there? Thank you. Sir James has already left for the Sultan's residence. Pierre, call the sheiks together for a complete inquiry. Janet, you stay here in case His Highness regains consciousness. I'm going to the Sultan's residence.
Now, on these naval plans, the code key is the same as I have explained for the land operations and for the Air Force coordination. Now, if there's anything you don't understand, I'll be glad to explain.
Thank you. Everything is perfectly clear.
Your Highness...
Now you wish the treaty pledging North African support to the United Nations. Here it is. I have spent many months persuading the tribal leaders to follow this course. I feel justified in asking that this treaty be ratified without delay.
I'm flying it to the United Nations headquarters tonight. My plane is ready for a takeoff at the Hudeli Oasis.
You are flying alone?
Yes.
Splendid. Nothing could suit my plans better. You won't need this, Sir James.
I don't understand.
But you understand this. What? Tie him up.
When you see Rex Bennett, tell him it was Baron von Rommler who finally defeated him. Tell him that with these war strategy plans in German hands, the United Nations campaign will be set back an entire year, giving the Führer time to consolidate his forces for a final and crushing victory.
Heil Hitler.
Your plane will enable me to fly over the Allied lines unchallenged. I shall be in Berlin by morning.
Your trip to Berlin is canceled, Baron von Rommler.
The other man is headed for my plane at the Hudeli Oasis.
formal request for the alliance of you and your people with the cause of the United Nations, submitted without prejudice, and you retain your rights of free choice.
I owe my life and my freedom to your valor and the courage of your staunch companions. Of me you may ask and receive whatever reward you may name. But in this matter, your democracy has taught us that such decisions are not made by the rulers, but by the people themselves.
May your people choose wisely. For ours is the cause of freedom, of justice, and of truth. The mission of the United Nations is a crusade against tyranny, intolerance, and oppression. Our banners will never be lowered until the light of freedom shines not only over the peoples of North Africa, but the entire world.